heart of Beverly Hills, you found For Love and Chocolate with Mr. and Mrs. Truffles.
Well, welcome back. Welcome to the third episode of For Love and Chocolate podcast.
Mrs. Truffles.
We have some very big news. I don't know if you've heard about the news coming in from Finland.
After only 2 episodes of For Love and Chocolate with Mr. and Mrs. Truffles, the news out of Helsinki is this, okay? We have made the top 250 most listened to podcasts in Finland. That is a stat that I'm going to ride that wave. That is impressive.
Well, I'm very honored.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to thank all our friends in Finland.
Yes,
thank
I think
you.
the Hollywood Foreign Press gets a big thank you, right? My agent, my manager.
We have a fantastic true love couple coming on today with the most outrageous engagement story I think I've maybe ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be really fun. We're going to be talking with Tom and Piper Welch.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some very thoughtful questions for the mailbag today.
We do.
Yeah, kind of serious, thoughtful questions that we'll be getting
That'll
to.
be fun.
I mean, before all that, I think, can we just talk about the really crazy little funny thing that happened in our store this week?
Yes. Yes, this was nuts. This was really funny.
Well,
and really just out there. But yeah, please share.
well, let's just say that a certain well-known TV food judge and critic,
We cannot name them.
who shall remain nameless at this point and juncture, you have to wait for the tell-all book.
Yes. we haven't signed the release yet, but we will.
So he came into the store to pick up his usual assortment of chocolates.
Yep. All dark. He likes the dark.
And the crunchy. He likes it dark and crunchy.
Okay, missus Truffles.
He said that after listening to our podcast the other night, right before going to bed apparently, that he fell off and had a crazy dream. And that in this dream, he was being escorted down the aisle. It's unclear who or what was escorting him, but he was being escorted down the aisle to a
Altar.
to a marriage altar.
Yep. And who was up there?
Where he was to be married to Mr. and Mrs. Truffles.
That's right. It's going to be 3 of us living in holy matrimony.
Right? Much more than that. And and although he didn't really say anything more about like whether there was a honeymoon scene of this dream afterwards or whatever, all I want to say though is, as flattered as we are that we already have 3 dogs sleeping with us at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not room for
There's
anyone else.
nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Should we try to analyze this dream?
I mean, sure. I want you to start, though. What in the world does this mean?
What do you think it means?
Look, he lives in that world of food, right? He's a critic. He's judging.
Right.
He listened to our podcast. There was something in that. It was both the love and the chocolate that just was a marriage for him. Those things are a marriage. Now all of a sudden he's walking down the aisle. He, maybe in the recess of his mind, he also wants to be married to chocolate. And the quickest way to get there.
We represent chocolate to him.
I think so.
Right?
And so if
We're
I can
his
marry
chocolate dealer.
Mr. and Mrs. Truffles, right? Suddenly it's just this union that will allow me to have a full heart, a full tummy, and let me sleep well at night. I don't know.
I think that's probably pretty spot on.
I don't think there were sexual connotations.
No, I don't think there's any Freudian context here.
No. I mean, how could there be?
Right?
But I mean,
it's really about love and chocolate.
What was he wearing? Did you remember? Did he talk about what he was wearing walking down the aisle?
I don't know. He didn't mention it. I mean, when he tells me the story, I envision him in some sort of like veil.
I mean, he did. When he was telling it, he did kind of go away. I mean, he was telling it, and then he was reliving it all at the same time. I felt like I had to like throw a cup of water in his face just to bring him out of it.
Well, I was really grateful that he felt comfortable enough with us to share that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that I was so comfortable having that shared with me. But listen, I mean, I guess what we're saying is when you come to the shop, feel free to share your dreams because we're going to share our dreams with you.
Right, and let's remember that our champagne truffle, the recipe we were told, was actually discovered in a dream.
Yes.
So dreams are kind of a reoccurring theme for us at Toysha.
dream, love, chocolate, romance, everlasting love. It's all there, gang. It's all there.
Well, either way, it's nice to know that we are working our way into people's dreams.
Yes.
And working our way into the hearts and minds of people in Finland.
That's my favorite part of this whole journey so far. That the Finnish are really, it's resonating with them for some reason. I mean, when we can hit, some of the other countries.
Well, I heard we may be making the charts in Estonia this week.
Well, we can only hope.
Well, we are definitely getting a lot of wonderful feedback and lots of great couples reaching out to us who want to share their story.
They do.
Yep.
And one of the things that was really, that I loved hearing from Tim and Lisa, our first couple, was that when they listened to it back, when they listened to it together, they got a little choked up because not only was it so nice to hear their story as told by them again, but they realized that they now have this beautiful recorded time capsule that they can share with their kids and their loved ones and their families.
Yeah, that meant a lot to Lisa.
That's a forever thing now. They can just chalk that away.
It is really special, and I wish that I could go back and hear the story of how my parents first met, or their first kiss, or my grandparents.
Yeah, because you can remember it, but to be able to play it back, would be really special.
It's something really special. It seems that everlasting love surrounds us. It does, and it wants to be talked about.
Yeah. It really does.
It wants to be heard. Well, I think you know what time it is now, Mr. Truffles.
I think it's time for Mailbag. It never gets old. I'm sure it gets old for our listeners, but for me, it never gets old.
It doesn't get old, and we're never getting old. But we do have some good questions this week.
We sure do. I want you to. You want to launch, Mrs. Truffles?
Sure. I think this is a good question.
Okay.
It's from someone calling themselves Just Jay.
Just Jay.
Mm-hmm. And it says, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Truffles, I've listened to your podcast about why men should pay for dates, and I don't disagree, but I'm a guy who only dates guys. What's your thought about who pays? Just wondering.
Oh, fair question.
I think it's a very fair question. It's not always, so, easy to know what to do in these situations. But my feeling is that whoever did the asking for the date is probably the one who should at least pay for the first date.
I think the pursuer. Definitely the pursuer.
The pursuer.
Because we've talked about the hunted and the hunter, right?
The hunting nature of men. But when you're talking about two men, I mean, not that every traditional relationship is the same, but the wiring of men generally tends to be the same, Men are always kind of wired the same way, and if they are in hunter mode and they are in pursuer mode, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Don't take that away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's, eventually if it works out and you guys find yourselves dating regularly, you'll find your own style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not such a hard and fast rule there because you're kind of in when you're doing something non-traditional that makes more room for non-traditional arrangements.
Yeah. But I do agree. It's if you were pursuing this gentleman, then it would be nice to take that first step and maybe pick up that first check and just kind of let the cards fall as they may after that. I think that you'll know. I think instinctually you'll get a vibe and you'll get a sense and
you'll do what's right for you. But yeah.
The wooing starts with that first date, though, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
That's kind of sets the course.
Yeah.
And
what else you got?
Well, why don't you read the next question, Mr. Truffles?
Well, okay. From Elsie. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Truffles. I love your podcast. Well,
thank you, Elsie.
I really like Elsie. I don't know what she's about to say. I have a question. I just started seeing this guy. We've known each other for over a year, but started dating 2 months ago. There's a pretty big age difference, and he's really wanting to move our relationship along in the physical way. Everything else is really great, and he treats me real nice. What should I do? Okay, Elsie. Well, I feel like you have to feel it too. Do not I mean, it sounds like you guys have a really nice thing going. It sounds like it's early on, but if you're not feeling it, you really need to wait. I don't want you to start getting into something that just doesn't feel right, because that's not what relationships are all about. It's about connections. It's about enjoying each other's company and time. But the minute that you're feeling unsure, uncomfortable, it's time to kind of pump the brakes. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, this doesn't really sound like it has legs to me, this relationship. Don't let yourself be pressured, honey. You know, it's nice to have, I'm sure an older gentleman who really knows, how to wine and dine you, and he's treating you really nice. But, if you're not feeling the physical part, don't push it.
Yeah, it's not to say that it can't work with a large disparity in age. It works a lot of times with a lot of people, but in this particular situation, it sounds like you've got some reticence, and you should listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, good advice.
Thanks. Meanwhile, I'm much older than you, Mrs. Truffles.
Yeah, you are.
You really, you...
Cradle robber.
That's me. But I've got 6 or 7 months on you.
9.
9 months, but who's counting?
Yeah, I am.
So now let's talk a little bit about our upcoming guests, Tom and Piper Welch.
Yes, let's talk about
So first
this.
of all, Tom and Piper are besties with our guest from last week's show, Pat and Doniphan, which if you listen to, you can only imagine how much fun they might be. And you would be right. Okay? So, when we asked Tom for a little bio, okay? Asked Tom, I said, hey, send me a little bio for you and Piper. And this is what he sent. Tom has been a healthcare executive for over 18 years. He served as executive vice president for a pharmaceutical company, publicly traded, and has been doing that for the last 11 years. Piper is Tom's love slave. He keeps her chained up in the garage and only lets her out for loving and cooking. Okay, Tom. I told you. Anyway, Piper is a very established and accomplished marketing exec, and she's been doing that for 30 years. And, I mean, she might be his love slave, too, but, I mean, that's not
They're
for me
not
to
mutually
say.
exclusive
I
jobs.
don't think so,
No.
right? Could be both.
Mm-hmm.
Love slave and marketing director. Anyway, we can't wait to talk to them. And, again, their story
outrageous
is so fun.
story.
Anyway.
Yeah. We'll be right back with Tommy and Piper Welch.
For over 40 years, Toysher has been a staple in the Beverly Hills community. Like so many other families in the community, our family has had a long-standing love affair with Toysher chocolates. Over the years, we've formed traditions and memories around these extraordinary Swiss chocolates and the enchanting wonderland of fantasy truffle boxes inside our store. Today, our family is proud to be carrying on the Toysher tradition in Beverly Hills. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to For Love and Chocolate. Our guest couple today, I've personally known for over 25 years. I do love this couple. They are among my favorite people that I never see. Is that fair to say? I never see them. And it's Tommy and Piper Welch. Say hi, guys.
How do you do?
Okay, that's enough. Okay, so anyway, I've known these guys forever. I knew the only way that I'd probably get to see Piper again is if I hosted a podcast about love.
Well, because I like
shameful.
to, be in the spotlight.
Of
so
course,
that's
you
only way
love the
get me.
spotlight,
This is
Piper.
shameful.
Oh my God!
Maybe we should go.
So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us to
I'm
your show.
Yes,
so
yes.
glad to see you, Mrs. Truffles. I mean, how exciting is this?
Oh, we have been so excited about this.
Yeah.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you here.
And
Thank
so,
you.
part of Mrs. Truffles' rule is that in order to be on our love podcast, you must be married. There's no long-term significant other
Nice.
story,
Yeah.
right? You want that.
I want to know how
down
people
that.
got married.
Well-
You know, we gave you a little bit of a background of what we're doing here, but what we're really interested in for this show is hearing about your story, your love story, how you met, what your courtship was like, just that seminal moment.
How long
I mean,
have you been together?
1999.
No, yeah,
Wow.
we got married in 1999, but we started dating around 96.
And so, what was
Yeah.
that? What was the moment? How did you meet? What was that like?
Oh,
Do you want the
Dear.
whole
God.
story?
I want the entertaining story.
she was introduced to me through my brother-in-law at LA Fitness. he introduced us because at the time I had just moved out here. We were both personal trainers, and he believed that she didn't have any money, so that she wouldn't train with him.
I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Right, an introductory workout. And so he called me. He's like, I don't think she has any money. I'm going to give her to you. And I'm like, thanks, man. That's awesome.
And 26 years later, I'm saying, you, man.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, wait, can you say the F word?
Well, you did, and it's
okay.
wrong.
Well, it's there now.
All good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hanging out there. I did her introductory workout. I normally charge 10 sessions in advance.
Yep.
But she paid me for 3. And then at the end of our first session, she pulled the old, hey, maybe my friends and your friends should all get together and go out. When in fact, what she was saying was, you and I need to go out.
Oh.
But she didn't have the, she couldn't do it. So we did go out. We decided to go to a movie. It was Ransom with Mel Gibson. And it was me and my roommate,
It was
Alex,
friends, like I suggested.
and like 4 of her roommates. And she literally fell asleep like 10 minutes in. She slept next to me snoring during the movie. And I was like, yeah, this is probably not going anywhere. But I did think she was very funny at the end. Here we are.
Whose idea
married.
was it that the first date should be a movie about child abduction?
Exactly.
How did we transition from this to the first date? Date.
So,
the real first date.
Oh, I'll take this one. So we had been going out with friends, and it's starting to. I'm like, okay, it needs to start becoming a dating situation. And he tells me that he is going to take me to his favorite restaurant over the hill. And I'm like, oh, we live in the valley, over the hill. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Get all dressed up.
She did get dressed up, sequins and everything.
No, I didn't go that far. But so he picks me up. Driving over the hill, and we park, and we get out, and it was somewhere around the Beverly Hills area. And we
Westwood.
start walking, or Westwood. We start walking to the restaurant, and as we get there, he walks up, and he was like, oh my gosh, it's closed. And I look up, and it was Schlotsky's. And I am not joking.
What's wrong with
And I
Schlotsky?
said, wait.
Sourdough
You're
bread.
taking me to Schlotsky's?
This was the first date.
Well, one of the first times we started, because we were in our young 20s, mid 20s ish, and we were still in that. Let's just go out with a group of friends, not in that intimate dating. I would say I had just moved to LA 6 months before that. He had just moved to LA 6 months before that, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And what did my daughter today? Something about the invisible line that had. Oh, because we both moved out the same year. Basically around the same time.
I don't know what invisible line
Meaning like we were meant to be together.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
This is 100% true. I dated a lot in the 6 months I was out here because I was, I was
So
a
did I.
trainer at a gym.
So
and
did she. Go
I
on.
was, people say it's tough to meet people out here. I didn't experience that. I felt like I met a lot of
You're an
people.
affable guy, Tommy.
I'd like to think so. But when I met here, there definitely was a weird vibe. Like, is this the one?
When
And
you
like,
met
I
Piper.
never thought that with.
When you met Piper.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
And it was like I had just met her, and she had black hair. Like it was
And now
black,
it's red and blonde
black.
and all sorts of different
Yeah.
colors.
So would you say in that training session,
Just when I first met her.
when you're measuring her ass, sorry, no.
I hadn't even measured her ass yet. But I do remember she was wearing those tight, bike shorts
Oh, that's fun.
and a T-shirt.
Okay, so
and they
she
were
was.
blue.
Listen, and had you seen him before when you were getting ready for this training session?
I think so.
Yeah.
But you came,
And
so
that's
you
why
had,
she
you
didn't,
had seen him before.
She didn't hit
I
me.
did, yes. And he was very handsome. He had really dark hair, these, huge dimples.
Yeah.
He still has these huge dimples,
right.
but look, I like the gray.
So you were at a point in your life where you were maybe dressing up a little bit, going to the gym. Was that a thing?
Was I dressing up? I don't remember.
You probably just looked really cute in whatever you were
was
wearing.
young.
You didn't need to dress
Adorable.
up.
Your
Yeah.
shorts and your right.
Yeah.
She was dating someone at the time when she was dating me.
Yes, it was.
And he was a guy that went to Harvard.
Yeah.
And anytime, we'll be arguing in front of my brother Dave, my little brother, he always says, you should have gone with Jason.
The Harvard guy.
Harvard boy.
But he had no edge. The guy had no edge. Come on.
Listen, I feel like, for us, so much of what makes this fun and hot and sexy is just laughter. We make each other laugh all the time.
All the time.
And I know you two to both be very sharp-witted and funny. And, again, I rarely get invited over, but when I do, When I do, it's always,
You're always invited.
fun. It's always fun. Whether I'm installing carpet in your backyard or just passing by.
Yes.
It's always fun because you two have a relationship that has both the sweet and the salt. Because it is entertaining watching the barbs happen
yeah.
relentlessly. But that's the spice of life, right? I mean,
Amen.
So take me to the engagement. How did the engagement
Please let me handle
happen?
this. Please. Because
He's gonna make me
no, I am not. Keep
were
in mind,
young.
we had been dating for a while, and
3 years.
she and my buddy, one of my best friends growing up, Joey, who was
I
living
love.
with me, she had let him know they'd go shopping together and stuff, and all the things I didn't like to do. So she had basically let him know that if I wasn't going to ask her soon, that she'd be moving to New York.
oh,
Right, because she's in advertising and marketing. And
Yeah.
But whatever. So I think it was right around Christmas time, and I had let on that I had gotten her a puppy, but I never said a word to her about it. I went out and bought her an engagement ring. And I think I had David pretend like he slipped in front of her. I remember we were on the phone. I was like, hey, I've got your present. I want to give it to you. Tonight we're going to go to that old
Cafe Bijou.
Cafe
Which
Bijou.
that is one place we would go
Studio
to
City.
quite
Great,
often.
great place.
But my little brother in the background barks. He goes, "Whoa." And she's like, okay, whatever. I know what you got me. I'm like, I gotta go.
Oh,
And she thought it was a
the
dog.
ruse was up.
I didn't get her a puppy. So I went out and I bought a stuffed animal of a black Labrador, and I put the engagement ring on it. And her friends got her out of the house, and I put the engagement ring in a box in her backyard around this fake stuffed animal puppy.
Oh.
So
The
then
backyard I was living, the house I was living.
So I take her to Cafe Bijou, but I wrapped up a bag of puppy chow. I mean, I made this thing
Wow.
ugly.
Oh, you played it, man.
So, oh yeah.
He really did.
So we went to Cafe Bijou. There was a payphone. It was during the payphone time. I went back towards the end of dinner because I was trying to get her friends over there and my brother over there and our friends over there so we could do the engagement. And I had them all hiding. So we finish. She says to me during dinner, I bet you $10 million I know what you got me. And I said, okay, I'll make the bet. What? And she goes, a puppy. And I acted like disappointed and pissed off. And so we finish. We go out to the car.
That's what you have to do when you're married.
She opens the present of the puppy chow and starts bawling. Just
Puppy chow,
because
which
it's puppy chow. Back, and I'm like, what? God, wow, what I do? And she says, I don't know how to take care of a puppy. When in fact she meant, I can't believe I'm not getting an engagement ring. We go back to the house. This is all on film. They're hiding in the room. She goes around back, opens a door. I have the crate there. She looks down, and there's the stuffed animal in there, and she
God.
thinks it's real. And I see her head turn sideways, like, oh. And she picks it up and looks at it like, what? And then she notices the ring, finally. And she about flipped out, and I went out, and I did the one knee thing, and I had already asked her dad. And her dad's like, please take her out my hands. Like,
That's how I
That's
show my love.
amazing. That is a fantastic story.
story.
Oh my
It
God, I
is.
love
And
this.
you really went to the mat with the stuffed animal and the
yeah.
crate.
Dog food.
Dog
Oh,
food.
yeah.
So that was, how soon after did you
Okay,
get
so
married?
that was 1998.
And you said yes.
I did.
Okay.
1998.
Pretty
yeah,
quick
it was a pretty
engagement,
quick.
right?
I mean, yeah.
You got engaged in Texas? I mean, got married in Texas?
Got married in Texas, and then it was, it was your typical 20. I was 28.
like 300
28.
people at our wedding.
Oh,
He was
come on.
27.
It was insane.
What?
We typical party your ass off wedding. To this day, people are like, that's probably one of my favorite weddings because we were all there. Everyone was so young. No one really had kids.
than
Everyone was like single and free or
Like,
married
you
and
do
free.
like a barbecue for the rehearsal dinner.
We went to a nice restaurant.
We went to a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
My dad paid
Downtown,
for
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But our wedding was a total blast.
Sounds like a party.
And it was really great fun. And then we went to St. Lucia and went to it was like an all-inclusive spa.
Oh.
So yeah, it was good. And here we are. How many years? 24.
3 kids
It'll
later.
be 25 years in September.
3 kids later.
25 years.
So 3 kids, do you guys get away on vacations, just the two of you?
Yes. That is the one thing I will say we're really, really good at.
Really
is
good at
that
taking time for yourselves.
we'll just go up the street. Well, now that our kids are older, it's super easy. We have
You
two
go
at
up the
house,
street?
We
but-
got to seedy motels.
No, we will.
Pay by the hour.
We will go like, we'll go up to like a happy hour and get a drink. Like
Do the
that.
drink and then
So
you have the big
nice.
party and your
You
wives
make
a
the
big
time for
Christmas
each
party.
other. Yeah.
I feel like, and then we definitely do all good date nights. We
We
get
do.
away.
Vacations?
We do. I feel like we do vacations. We will go up the street. There's a hotel in Burbank that we love. That
Which
we'll
one?
do like.
Armano, new
Armano?
sponsor.
Armano.
Yes, they're awesome. Love
The
them.
Armano
They're
Boutique
Armano.
Hotel
It
in
is.
Burbank.
It's very cool. You know who else hangs out there?
Come join us.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh, come on.
I saw him there one day.
Is that right? Snoop Dogg.
Was he having a romantic getaway as well?
I cannot comment. What happens at Hotel Armano stays at Hotel Armano.
When you first met, was there a moment of like, just like almost like an earthquake?
That's not how my mind works. The earthquake moment where like, but for sure, Piper for me is like the perfect woman. I'm talking. She like literally for me, I love her more every year. She's a good one.
This is like a therapy session.
Oh, sorry. She's a gamer. It's my girlfriend calling.
You're the worst.
She's a
You are the worst.
she's a gamer, and like she's usually up for just about anything, no matter how stupid it is.
That's love.
It's
Bag
Oh, we
for
do have a
them.
gift bag.
Yes.
You guys
I
get
can't
swag.
believe
So
you were
I'm
trying to
gonna,
hold
Yes.
out on
I
me,
know.
man.
I'm going to bring the swag, and you're going to talk about what's in the swag.
Yes.
Nice.
Excellent.
I can't wait.
Well, when
bag.
you bring that over, and we will unpack it together.
The
I
bag
don't
is
want to look
nice.
at it yet.
Go
I
ahead,
know.
dig
Okay.
in.
Let's see. Okay.
You guys are high end.
I'm untying the bow.
Oh, this is
I don't
exciting.
think you have to get
A little
down to death.
Well,
silk
yes, you gotta
ribbon,
tell people.
golden ribbon
All
bow.
right.
What do we have first?
A
Ooh,
very,
Wow.
very lovely bottle
Ooh.
of fancy French champagne.
French champagne.
Thank you. My
And then-
friends and I will have great time
Oh,
drinking this.
yes.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
Tommy, you can sniff the cork.
Yes.
That's what I'm used to.
The
okay,
there
yeah.
about our shop and our
Nice.
couples. So this is something that I actually make myself. And
Wow.
many mornings, Tommy will give me a back rub with that, but it's the best things for your skin.
You can't
all
believe it,
food
guys.
grade.
It's honestly, it's the best thing in that.
And like if you put a little
gift bag.
sugar in there, it would taste delicious. It's mostly
Yeah.
cocoa butter.
It's
Yum.
Yeah, but with
incredible.
like
Smells
lots
It's
of
so good.
vitamin E,
Yeah,
rosehip
it's food grade.
oil,
It's food grade.
jojoba oil, all these things that most products will give you
Yeah,
a few
thank
drops
you.
of. That's all it's made out of.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's
Wait,
really-
do you guys have that in your
Smells great.
shop?
Wow.
We'll have it like available online. But then the next thing is
Oh.
my favorite Trader Joe's crackling fire candle. Then last but not least, champagne truffles from Beverly Hills Toy
What
Show.
else would you get?
Oh, and the box is so cute.
So pretty. Oh my
So
God.
that's actually half classic and half dark recipe. Since I didn't know what you preferred.
Don't let the kids see that, please.
No.
I'll
Wait,
give
is there real
nothing.
champagne in it?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Dom
it's made with
Perignon.
Dom Perignon.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's 80. It's really what we're famous
Yeah.
for.
Oh, wow.
So maybe what we'll start doing on our anniversary is coming over here, going to a nice dinner, not Schlotsky's, and going to your store.
To Toy Shire. Come to Toy Shire.
Toy Shop.
Thank you guys
Oh, you're
so
right.
You for having
much.
us.
Yes.
This is so
Yes.
Love
fun.
having you. What
So
a
fun.
fun couple you are. And
Thank you.
So inspiring, I'm sure. Do you have any before we go? Do you have any like parting wisdom to give to young couples starting out or still looking
One.
for love?
I will say when people complain about their significant others not doing what they want them to do on Mother's Day or their birthday, I'm like, you got to let them know. And I've let him know, and so he never disappoints me. He knows exactly how I want my Mother's Day. He knows exactly how I want my birthday.
It's
That is
true.
knows.
such good advice.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Such good advice.
Because then you see,
yeah.
women have the tendency to expect the man to know. Men are very simple creatures. Women are not.
We are.
True.
You cannot expect a man to know what you're thinking inside your head.
Tommy, pass
So-
the firewood.
Exactly.
It's true. Listen. It's so. In fact, I feel like I recently asked you what you wanted for Christmas, didn't I?
Well, you know what? You are pretty good at asking now. There have been times though, like when you just really didn't know what to do, and I had to tell you for like Valentine's or
Yeah.
my birthday. But you're right, Piper. It's about communication.
I do like the elements of surprise, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me what you wanted for Christmas, and I know you loved it. But I mean, there's something about, at least for me, just knowing you and wanting to wow you. And maybe it's not exactly.
No, but you like next level things. You always do. I tell you what I want, and you get me that, but like nicer than I even imagined.
Oh,
You're so good like that.
I try.
I should marry
do.
Tommy.
It's still very fresh. Our love is still very fresh. Mrs.
Wait, how long have
Truffles.
you guys been married now?
Over 3 years.
Yeah, it was 3 years in August.
Okay. But you've been together for.
Almost 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time
Crazy.
flies when you're having fun.
Whatever. Tommy and
That's the
Piper, it was so great having you guys. Enjoy your swag. Enjoy each other.
We'll see you in 10 years.
Yeah. We'll see you in 10 years. Anything else, Mrs. Truffles?
That's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you. I'm so excited about it.
We'll be right back.
Do you like-
This podcast is being brought to you by Beverly Hills Toysher, Chocolates of Switzerland. Beverly Hills Toysher at 371 North Camden Drive in Beverly Hills has been serving up truffles, pralines, dipped fruits, marzipans, and our world-famous chocolate bars for over 40 years. So, next time you're in Beverly Hills, why don't you come by and visit or shop online at BeverlyHillsToysher.com.
Oh, wow.
That
Warren,
was so good.
did not disappoint.
You know what? Now every time we've hosted, we just get a little surprise in every case, and this was no exception, was it?
I wonder if he makes her wear the biker shorts when he lets her out to cook.
I hope so.
I guess we should have asked them that while
When he
they were in
lets
here.
her out to cook, chasing her with a measuring tape. Oh my God! You know, it goes to show that laughter seems to come up a lot in our discussions with these couples,
Yeah, our
right?
true love couples all have mentioned the laughter, how much they laughed.
And boy, if it's not just the key ingredient for longevity. And I hear that so many times when I ask couples that have been married 40, 50 years, what is the key? What's that key ingredient? And they usually say something to the effect of, it's communication, but it's also laughter. He just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And that kind of seems to heal all wounds, doesn't it?
It certainly does help, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's also got to be some, some other components that really make it work.
Yeah.
Good cooking, good loving,
Good cooking and
good
good loving.
laughter,
But yeah, it was just so
trust
nice.
and communication.
They're so comfortable around each other,
Yeah.
They seem to we talked about how couples fit, and and just to hear Tommy say, he just knew, right? I mean, he
knew.
She makes him so happy.
It seems like they both knew the moment they met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the love gets deeper, and he loves her more every year.
It's beautiful.
So sweet, isn't it?
So sweet.
Yeah. Happy
Well,
for them.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for us that they came on our show and
Yeah.
shared their fun story.
And I would hope that after that swag bag, maybe we'll get an invitation over for dinner.
Well, I want them to invite us over when they have Pat and Donna, because can you imagine?
Oh,
That has got to be a fun room.
yeah. So we're putting it out there, guys. Bring us over for dinner.
We'll bring the dessert.
Well, I feel like oftentimes that first moment, it's about a look, right? I mean, we're attracted to attractive people. There's something about them that catches our interest. Might be a smile, might be a laugh, might be a look, but it's got to go far beyond that to take the journey.
There's either this like basic chemistry or not in the beginning, but for some couples, when they first meet, it is like they just were struck with a lightning bolt, and it really sounds like Tom and Piper have that.
Yeah.
And to have a practical joke for an engagement story.
So elaborate.
An elaborate practical
Oh my God.
joke.
Get a hobby, man. How does he have so much time? Puppy chow, stuffed animal. He's got his brother cueing him to bark. Anyway.
They're hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that our friends in Finland enjoyed that story.
Me too. And Estonia.
We're coming up in Estonia.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks again for joining us. And guess what? We're going to be back next week for another adventure in love and chocolate. Say goodbye, Mrs. Truffles.
Goodbye, Mrs. Truffles.
This show was brought to you by Beverly Hills Toysher Chocolates of Switzerland, home of the world's first and finest champagne truffles. Join us next week for more adventures in everlasting love.